Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is Leon Master. Welcome back to another Overwatch League news video. And today, guys, we have some news today. It was a little bit dry day of news with the Overwatch League today, the day I'm recording this video. Some stuff that is finally basically being confirmed with, Dallas Fuel, more stuff coming out about it in general. And some good news as well. Vancouver Titans coming in with some stuff that really shouldn't have really happened for some parts of it, and more free agents and the surprising release from JMac, and a lot of more stuff that's somewhat small. It was, like I said, it was a dry news day today, so we're going to go ahead and go over it pretty quickly. So the first thing I want to talk about today is the Vancouver Titans, and they did re-sign Dalton, Rolf, and Shredlock. Now I'm going to be 100% honest. I did not expect this to happen with the Vancouver Titans. I think Dalton's a great player. I think he needs to stay on the Vancouver Titans. I think he's Overwatch League level, even when he was on Second Wind and LA Gladiators Legion. I always knew he's going to be Overwatch League talent, and I'm happy he's staying on the Vancouver Titans. You got Shredlock, and I thought Shredlock was alright, when he did play. I don't think he's a top tier, maybe even mid-tier kind of tank, but I do think he is good to stay in the Overwatch League and maybe be that backup or in a rotation. On the Vancouver Titans, I do think they will be getting an upgrade. If they don't, that's going to be really unfortunate. I really don't know the Vancouver Titans money situation, so I don't know if they'll be getting upgrades or not. And the one I'm really not a fan of is they kept Rolf. I know Rolf, honestly, at the end of the day, he really does deserve to be in the Overwatch League. He's been playing Overwatch since the start. He's been there from the start on multiple teams like Cloud9. He deserves to be in the Overwatch League, but I don't think he's on the Overwatch League level, personally. I really don't think he's the level of it. I think he's one of the worst, if not the worst, off-sport in the league. He's really not that good. It was really surprising to see him getting re-signed to the team, even though they had KSA still, and now they're gone, Karkar. I would have like to see Rolf at least last to be re-signed, but unfortunately he's getting extended. I'm not a fan of it. It still questions what's going to happen to Shockwave. I'm going to be 100%. I think that leak is true. Shockwave is going to be a free agent, and he's going to go to other teams, maybe like the one Spitfire. So what I think of the Vancouver Titans, I'm happy they extended Dalton. I think that's a good move. Shredlock, if he's going to be as a sub or in rotation, I think that's good as well. Then you have Rolf. I don't think he's that good. Then on to the next thing we have is actually some good news with the Dallas Fuel. They have extended Doha's contract for the 2021 season. I think that is a lot of good things for the Dallas Fuel. They still have Young, as we know of right now. That could be completely different in the next upcoming days. But I think this is great. Obviously, they released their entire roster earlier today as well. I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video. But Doha being re-signed is great. And honestly, I'm being 100% sure at this point Dallas Fuel is going full Korean. I mean, there's so many good players in Overwatch Korea contenders right now that they could get to be a top-tier team. Maybe free agents in the Overwatch League as well. I think that's what Dallas wants to do this season, but it depends on who they pick up, really. I think starting off with Doha, building around him is a good start. Also, if Young does stay, that is also really good as well, because Young has a great eye for talent as well, I feel like. Great moves right now for the Dallas Fuel is doing. Then on to the next thing, we have London Spitfire releasing JMac, actually. I did not expect this one because, why would they not have him onto that whole list of people getting released? I thought JMac was going to get traded, and maybe they did think JMac was going to get traded, but a thing fell through, a deal fell through, so now they had to release JMac. And they still have, Fuse, Bernard, Glister, and Singwinar still on that roster right now, trying to probably find trades for those guys and seeing what's going to happen. And I think at the end of the day, Fuse, he won't get traded to a team. If he does, probably Toronto. You have Singwinar, I think he has many options. Glister has a lot of options he can go to, and Bernard does as well. So Bernard, Glister, they'll definitely give Lennon some money for other teams as well. I'm kind of not fully shocked with JMac, but I'm just kind of shocked they didn't really put him into the rest of the release players. I thought JMac may have had a chance with the Boston Uprising, maybe because he's cheap, but it all depends on how things go. Now onto this one thing. This happened recently before making this video, so I couldn't make photoshops for you guys. I don't even know what teams they can go to. This is on the spot. Hangzhou Spark did release Ado, Adora, Bebe, Sawson, and Rhea, and these are not really surprising at all. I do think Bebe was solid a little bit. I didn't think he was insane this season. I thought he was still alright. You have Rhea, who was good in Season 2, but then he had a wrist issue this season. I still think he could be a great player. Then you have Sawson, Adora, and Ado. Ado got no playtime on the Spark this season, unfortunately. You had Adora, he was alright, but they got Architect, who was better. You had Sawson, who played occasionally. He did really good on the Zarya. He played occasionally in general. I think QQ was better. It just, in general, those two, Sawson and QQ, they had their moments, they had the roles that are playing, they were good. Rhea is still a good off-tank player, but we haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, Bebe, who was a solid off-sport as well. I think these guys can go to many teams as well. I can't really list names because I'm not looking at them right now, but these guys definitely have chances to go to. I've seen people have fun and say Rhea should go to Dallas. I mean, if he performs like he did in Season 2, Sure. Bebe, I think there's some teams you can go to. Maybe the LA Gladiators. They don't have an off support right now. These guys have some options for sure. Now onto the free agents we're going to talk about today. And there is one that I forgot back from the beginning of free agents started to come out. So he's going to be in here as well. We only have really 2 new free agents happening. But here they are on your screen. We have Boombox, Pogbo, and EQO. Boombox was like one of the first free agents. I just forgot to mention him in my first video about all this stuff. Pogbo came out LFT, and also EQO came out as a free agent. I think these guys are still really insanely good players. Pogbo, I still wanted to see him play this season on the Atlanta Reign, but unfortunately that did not happen. I think he still has potential to be a really good main tank on some other teams. It just depends on where he goes to. You have EQO. I think EQO is still a really top player. Honestly, the times he did play this season, he did really good. I just think Ivy was better, because Ivy had a really good playstyle that fit Philadelphia Fusion. EQO did not really fit their playstyle like Ivy did, I guess you could say. It's really to explain. I think Ivy was just fit better for the Philadelphia Fusion when it came to certain metas. EQO, I will not deny though, he's still a top player when it comes to certain metas especially. And if it does come to teams, I do have teams for these guys to go to as well, and some of them are pretty obvious. To start off with Pogbo though, there's 2 teams I wrote down for him, but I think he can go to many teams. Depends on what happens with free agents later on and releases this season. But I did write down Guangzhou Charge and the Washington Justice. I do think Pogbo, if he was around that team environment, I think he could be better than Rio. Depends on what happens. If we're looking at Season 2, Pogbo had a great season, Rio didn't, but obviously that's been the past now. Doesn't really matter as much, but if we're looking at Pogbo directly, that does kind of matter because we did not see Pogbo really play at all in Season 3. He did play the past couple, like 1 or 2 months, and he still performed at a somewhat good level coming in last minute, and I do think Pogbo is a great player. Rio did have a pretty somewhat good season in Season 3. He did pretty good, but I think Pogbo could potentially be better than Rio. Potentially. I'm not saying he will be, but potentially. Washington Justice, it's obvious he's better than Roar. I don't think Roar's even going to be on the Justice this season, but I think Pogbo could fit that team as well. Then you have EQO, 2 pretty obvious teams, London Spitfire and the Vancouver Titans. London Spitfire, I think he'd do a great job beside Dan. Obviously EQO is a projectile, Dan is a projectile as well. Depending on what metas come up, how they do in scrims, I think EQO could fit the London Spitfire if they do go to British Hurricane, which I'm pretty sure they are. You have Vancouver Titans, they don't have a flex DPS, might as well get EQO, and I think EQO could fit that team as well. I feel like he would actually take that contract and go on the Vancouver Titans. It also depends on what happens. I think he'd fit on that team perfectly. Then on the Boombox, only 1 team as well. I think you already know it is the London Spitfire. I think he can fit that team as well. And Reaper will be the off-sport if they are promoting British Hurricane. You have Boombox as well. Who gets that spot off of scrims? I think Reaper could get it. I think Boombox can get it. They're both really good at the off-sport. We haven't seen Boombox really play mainly this season. He did play a lot of BAP this season, and it was alright. It was good, but Funny Astro had to grind that up, and they still won more games with Funny Astro in. I think Boombox still good though. He's still good enough to be in the Overwatch League. It depends on what team he goes on. I thought about Vancouver Titans, but I feel like he wouldn't take that contract unless it was London Spitfire. It's a lot of things that need to line up for Boombox, I feel like. I do think he does deserve to be in the Overwatch League though. Now that is everything that is new that has happened recently. Now we're going to go into the stuff that's being officially confirmed, or official, I guess you could say, with the Dallas Fuel. You guys can leave if you want to. This is stuff we already talked about. We're just seeing more stuff come out about it with the Dallas Fuel releasing literally everyone. So here it is on your screen. Today we're parting ways with Oni God, literally the entire roster. It's just everyone is gone now. They only kept Doha and Young and the coaching staff as well. But we got stuff coming out about this. We have Gamsu and AKM retiring, and here is both of the tweets on your screen. It's pretty obvious it's the retirement thing. It does suck to see Gamsu go though. Gamsu's going back to League of Legends. He did actually do pretty good when I looked at his results on League of Legends. You have AKM obviously going to Valorant, and they said it's disappointing how things didn't turn out. They always think Dallas Fuel giving them the opportunity, and it sucks to see him go. They've been here for a hot minute. Gamsu has been like a core of all Overwatch League. It feels like he's been like one of the most positive players in there, from Boston to Shanghai to Dallas now. You have AKM, who has been here since the start, and now he is retiring. It sucks to see him go, but I think AKM was going to have a hard time in Overwatch League in general since Season 1. Season 1 was great for AKM in some moments, not a lot. But Gamsu, it does suck to see. This one does hit to see Gamsu retire, but he's going back to League of Legends. At least he's still going to be gaming. He's still going to be professional. If you guys did not know, he did play for Fnatic back in League of Legends, and then he went to Overwatch. Obviously, teams he went to, then went to Boston, and you know the story. Anyways, guys, like I said, it was pretty slow of a news day. Not that huge amount of stuff really happening. But yeah, that's it, guys. If you guys want to stay more in tune with the Overwatch League, a lot of news stuff dropping. I try my best to do daily stuff. Even when I'm tired, I try my best to do it. And yeah, don't forget to join my Discord down below. Don't forget to follow my Twitter and my Twitch. And don't forget to hit that bell. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.